Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see Cognizant interview experience for Gen Z Next Level, and this is the feedback given by a selected candidate only. And now let's see how many rounds are there and how each round went for that candidate. And I'll also tell you what are the questions and difficulty of those questions and time for each round. And before that, I wanted to tell you that how you have to get selected for this Gen Z Next Level, because in Cognizant application there will be no option to select for which level you are applying for this, like you wanted to apply for Gen Z Next Level or like that. You'll have only options whether you have to take technical assessment or aptitude assessment. Aptitude means it's for Gen Z and Gen Z Elevate, and technical means Gen Z Pro and Gen Z Next. So packages are different, and for aptitude assessment, only aptitude questions will be there and no technical questions at all. And for technical assessment, you will have technical questions only, and those technical questions will differ, and that means the difficulty level will differ for each level. And you'll have only option to select in between these two, either aptitude or technical, but you won't have option to select Gen Z Pro, Gen Z Next, Gen Z Elevate and Gen Z. So how you have to make sure that you will be selected for Gen Z Next is, it is totally dependent on you. While you are applying your complete details and submitting the complete documents in the superset platform, you have to make sure that you have enough certifications. The more number of certifications you have, the higher the chances for you to get onto this level, that is Gen Z Next and Gen Z Pro. So make sure that you clear most of the certifications and you have more certifications, so that it will show that you are more skilled person. So make sure that you have all these kind of certificates from different platforms like Coursera and many other platforms. Okay, and now let's see rounds, number of rounds. And in this, there are three rounds: written, technical interview, and HR. Since I am explaining you for Gen Z Next, the first round is written technical only. And if it is for Gen Z and Gen Z Elevate, that will be aptitude, okay, not written technical. And here it is written technical, and then technical interview, and then HR interview. And now let's see what in written technical. There are only three coding questions, which is of 1 hour 45 minutes. So for these three coding questions, you have this 1 hour 45 minutes only. And these three coding questions, first one is easier one, and second one is medium, and third one is hard. It doesn't mean that all of you will get in this way only. For that student which from which I have taken this experience feedback, so for that student the questions are of like this sort. And make sure that you cover all the concepts in the language, and you have a editor like where you can select the language which you are familiar with. So all these three coding questions should be completed in 1 hour 45 minutes only. And after the completion of this coding questions, and no other rounds, I mean written rounds are there, only this is only one round. And now let's see technical interview. So for technical interview, this happened for about 1 hour. And first question is same as every interview, it's introduction. And then oops concepts. Okay, oops concepts are the most important question in every interview, so these are the basic questions you have to prepare for this. And and my advice is that whenever they ask for hoops concepts, be ready with the real time examples and each detail for each concept. That means for abstraction, for encapsulation, polymorphism, so inheritance, for all these things you have to have a detailed explanation, and then each example, one example for each one. Okay. And then they have asked for HTML and CSS. That means few tags. What are the A tag, P tag, and H1 tag, and how do you render templates, and what are the REM. And these are the few questions both in HTML and CSS. And they also asked for what is HTML and what is CSS. And then they have asked for Fibonacci code execution. So this execution is not done in our local system from which we have joined. So the panelist which you have allotted with, that panelist will share the screen with the editor, so you will have access to type in that editor. So you have to execute the code in that editor only. And the editor is well and good, you can execute with your own logic. And make sure that you know the logic perfectly, and they'll give you time, like how much time you want. First they'll ask you, and then be within that specified time you have to complete. If not, you can ask them for more time as well. So for this candidate, they have asked Fibonacci code execution, and not just writing the logic, you have to execute the code, and then they will check the answers as well, and then they will ask for logic explanation as well. So this will take more time. And then they asked for what is namespace in Python language. And then SQL, they asked for union intersection, not just theory. They have given a small example as well, like they have given two tables, and they have asked how do you two tables, and then in each table what is the data, in the other table what is the data, and they have asked if you do union operation on these two tables, what will be the result, and what is the SQL query that you will write. So they asked to enter that SQL query in the text, I mean chart. And after that they have asked you the output of that both union and intersection. And then they have asked for about project details, what are the most important criteria why you have chosen the project, and what languages you have used, and how did you start, and how is it going, if your project is already completed. And then they'll ask how did you complete as well. And then difference between C, C++, and Python. They have also asked this question: what is the difference between C, C++, first question, and then C++ and Python, and then C and Python. So they have covered all these three languages, and the total time for this is 1 hour. And now let's see HR interview. And in this HR round, first introduction, and then they asked you to show documents. And while you are showing, they have captured the screens, and they have captured all your details also. They asked for 10th memo, inter, pan card, and other card. If you don't have originals of 10th and inter, it's okay, you can manage with the Xerox, but make sure that you have that picture very clearly on your documents. And then they'll verify your pan and other also. And after that, the question is relocation, whether you are willing to relocate or not. And then if you are planning for any higher studies, and then any questions from your side. Okay, that's all. This interview round for HR is only of 15 minutes, and this is the total Cognizant interview experience. And then thank you, and all the best for your interview.